this is the last day I can say I'm 16, and it's really weird because, like, firstly, I do not look 16. Like, let's be real. Like, I got a whole ass beard. Trust me, it works really well. I can walk into anywhere I want. No one questions the thing. Everybody treats you with more respect. So, if you're a guy, think about getting a beard or keeping it there if you're young. And I went back to my video a year ago, right? I made a video a year ago. I'm like, oh, I'm turning 16. It's cool, right? Well, if you watch that video, it's not me. It's so unnatural. And this is kind of a concept I had around personality. Is personality developed or is it revealed? Right? That's two things that people talk about. People say be yourself, but who are you? Right now in my mind, what I believe, you are the culmination of all your habits and your environments, right? So, if I could take you and put you and wipe your mind and put you through all the experiences, all the things that I went through, you'd be exactly like me. Like literally one for one, the exact same place, exact same time, exact same environments, you would be me. Right? So that kind of solves one of the questions, right? Personality is clearly developed. So then what was I doing in that video? Why am I acting so, yeah, it's just so stuck up. Like, what is this guy doing? It's because I was trying to put on a persona. And that persona was big, strong guy who can, it was a power struggle. And I think that's what most humans try to do. I'll give you an example. Right now I'm in the process of like college admissions, right? It's the process of like you gotta get your stuff together, get your essays together, whatever. And it's just the people you talk to, you're just having a normal conversation. You're like, oh, hey, Jamie, like, what's your grades? Like, what's your GPA at? Like, where are you applying? And they say, oh, yeah, I'm applying here. Okay, cool, whatever. And, he says his GPA, it's like, okay, let's say it's like 4.43. Let's say mine is like 4.47. He's like, yeah, okay, that's cool. It's like, yeah, I know it's more than yours. I didn't mean that in like a bragging sense. And then you start talking about like extracurriculars. He's like, oh yeah, like I run this club, I do this, I do that. And I'm here like, yeah, like I wrote down like YouTube channel, 7 million views, 15K subs. For me, this is normal, right? I don't mean it as like a condescending, like I'm better than you. I'm just saying like, oh, this is what I wrote down. And as I'm listing it off, you can see this guy, Jamie's face change. Like his expressions are just different. And after that conversation, he started treating me differently. Like it wasn't the same Jamie I knew. That's not his real name, by the way. Concealing it. It's just people put on this persona when they're in this situation of life or death where they're trying to gain power over other people. And when that power is threatened, that status is threatened, they change themselves to become more aggressive. I noticed that. Now what's interesting is the people who are close to me, they didn't like change too much. I think it's an innate human thing. You really have to fight it. But basically what I was doing at that time, and for like maybe a few more months, is I was posturing. I was trying to make myself seem better than others. And I think I still do that to some extent. Even simply by discussing the fact that I have a six pack, even simply by discussing the fact that my GPA is this, by saying like right now I just told you like 7.5 million views. Okay, that's cool, right? 15K subs. Like it comes off as like I'm posturing myself right now in front of you as some kind of idol, as someone who's like, look at this dude, right? So it's a hard thing to fight, but I think what I've learned throughout this entire year, it's a lot. I think a lot of it has to do with unlearning more than learning. So you see all these papers on my wall. Right here I have a little word. It says good. I'm not gonna pull over the camera, but right over there it says good, like in quotation marks. So it just says good in quotation marks. That I got from a guy named Jocko Willink. He's like a Navy SEAL. You might know him. He's super jacked guy. And he's like, whatever comes across to you, say good. Right? Broke your leg, good. You slipped off your bike, good. Got a good grade, good. Got a bad grade, good. Failed the test, good. Got the highest score in the class? Good. And this made me realize that nothing on earth has inherent value. There is no good or bad. It's how you make it so. I'll give you a concept. Let's say you're driving down the street. You're driving in your car or whatever. And you accidentally swerve to the right. I don't know. You're drunk. You're stupid. You turn to the side and you crash into a tree. Oh no. Why is that the initial reaction? Oh no, you crash into a tree. Bad event. You consider that to be a bad event. What does the tree think of it? Let me be like, is this guy stupid? Like what? No, I'm going to ask you to be that tree. What does the tree think of it? To the tree, there's no concept of right or wrong. There's no concept of good or bad. Right? Now, if that tree had a brain and we gave it memories, then it would know, okay, if I crash my car, it's probably a bad thing. So that means that the person who's driving the car who crashed it, he doesn't have to see that event as a bad thing. He can choose to see it as a good thing. This is like a huge discovery that a lot of people don't understand. You can choose your reactions to events. This is basic Stoic knowledge. You can choose the way you react to things, right? If I came along and punched you in the face right now, you do not have to be angry because I did that. You do not have to be sad or crying or whatever after I do that. You get to choose your reactions. Isn't that insane? Imagine if you had that power of someone screaming, yelling down at you, and you're just sitting there smiling back at them. There's this tale from the Buddha where, like that picture of him like sitting under that tree. He's just sitting there meditating, and he's waiting. What he's waiting for, I don't know the whole story. I think he said he was waiting for enlightenment, whatever. Some guy comes across to him while he's sitting at that tree. Wakes him up from his meditation. Yo, loser, why don't you go get a job or something? What are you doing here, you hobo? Buddha looks back at him, and he just smiles. And this guy's like, what do you do? Like, if someone smiles at you and you try to insult them, it's probably a little weird, right? Guy looks back at him, he's like, why are you smiling, you idiot? Are you like stupid or something? And so the Buddha, he just keeps on smiling. And then this guy gets even more mad. He's like, you're stupid, you're an idiot, like you're not even doing anything with your life. And the Buddha just looks back at him, and I believe he says, okay, I do not accept any of your quotes, anything you said to me. And this guy was confused. He's like, what do you mean you don't accept? I just told you. And Buddha was like, I don't need to accept anything you're saying to me right now. If that's what you think about me, sure. You think that. I don't need to think that. And this guy goes off even more mad than before because he can't do anything to the Buddha. He's in control of himself now. I think that's the ultimate state. Being able to sit there and be like, yeah, I can be happy, whatever. And I think right now I'm trying to enter that state of, I'm not saying I'm enlightened or anything. I'm not even touching enlightenment. I'm not even close, way far off. But I think one step closer to that is understanding this concept of not caring about what other people think. That's pretty much what I've been telling you this whole time. You get to control your reactions, and that means you don't have to care about others' reactions to you. Right? So what I started doing latter half of this year, so the last 6 months, I've just been messing around. Absolutely stupid stuff. I pull up to school with buns in my hair. Like it's like little baby girl buns. They're so funny. Like I would pull up in stupid baggy shirts. Sometimes I'll dress nice. Okay. Right? Cool. Sometimes I dress with like a pink little, I have it right here. Pink little bow right here. Right? And I'll come into school like that. And you might be like, is this guy stupid? Is he like on drugs? No. I don't do any of that. I wanted to prove to myself that I don't care what other people think. Now, to some extent, that is required, because if you don't care entirely about what other people think, you're just gonna show up to school naked, go wherever you are naked. Like that's a little weird, right? Maybe you shouldn't do that. To some extent, social training is required, but I wanted to tell myself that none of this matters. And that's kind of the other lesson I learned, which was literally none of this matters. And you think like this ties into not caring. The reason I came to this conclusion, I needed a lot of convincing because I'm very socially prone to listen to people. Like if my friends are doing something, I would probably like fall in line and just do what they're doing. And so I was just like, how can I break this? I don't want to like socially follow. Either I tried to use it to my advantage, so now I have friends who like all of them work out, all of them are working on themselves. They're trying to get rich. They're trying to, all this stuff. They're on the grind, right? I respect that, and because of that, I've become that person. It's very valuable. So I use it to my advantage, but now I want to also break free of it. So because at some point, it's positive returns, but at some point it becomes diminishing because you get all the benefits you can from that friend group, and I don't think I've reached diminishing because they're growing, and if you're growing alongside another person, then you're both growing together, right? There's no diminishing returns there. But eventually, I know it will happen. Not with my friends, but just in general, the people I surround myself with, including family. So I wanted to break past social expectations. This is very important. Again, I did that thing with like, my hair. That was like the start of it. But now it's like, I don't care what I wear wherever I go. Like someone says, pull up formal. If it's like, okay, I'll do it to be nice to them, like sure. Like sometimes I'm just like, let me wear my slides. They're comfortable, right? And I thought of things from my 80-year-old self's perspective. I was like, if I was my 80-year-old self, what would I think of where I am right now? This is one of the biggest discoveries I found this year too. What would I want to do? I'd want to leave nothing on the table. Like I know people. I saw this video recently. I was talking about it in another video I recorded. I think it's the last one. This guy who's like 80 something. And it was a video, the title was like, the one regret I still have from high school. It had like 1 million views. It got it in less than in a month, I believe. I clicked on it and this guy's like, it's about this girl he never talked to. I'm like, this is so sad. Like this guy's sitting here, he has no choice. Like he literally cannot do anything about it. He can't go back in time. He knows he's gonna die in a bit. And he's just sitting there accepting like, dude, I didn't do that. I don't want to be in that situation. I want to leave everything on the table when I die because I know it's going to happen. I can make the most money on earth. I'll still have to think of it like a casino, right? Someone works hard, gambles their entire life to some big thing. They collect all the coins. Eventually, you have to leave the casino, right? The guards will come around. They'll try and take you out. And when you leave a casino, all the coins that were yours, they go back to the middle of the table. It's not yours anymore. Eventually, you'll have to leave everything at the table, and that's what I want to do. I want to collect as much as I can, experiences, money, whatever I can, and then just move it back to the table when I'm done. Because I know, at the end of my life, I gave whatever I could, everything I've got. I think that's the most valuable way to live, genuinely. In the moment, hard work feels difficult. Especially for if it's something you don't want to do. And I think that's a different topic. But when you're in the moment, hard work feels difficult. But when you're done that hard work, the amount of elation, the amount of happiness you feel when you're done is just amazing. Like it's up there. It's an amazing feeling. It's like, dude, I got that done today. That is crazy. And so what I'm going to tie into this is the concept of routines. I used to follow routines heavily, like crazy. And I'd be like, okay, 6:15 p.m. do this, 6:45 do this, 7:15 do this. And what I started noticing is time started going by faster. Like the months between my birthday last year, which is October 20th, 2022, to like January, I forgot. Like, I don't remember that time period. It was just like, okay, same routine over and over. Okay, cool, whatever. And I think to make progress, a routine is required. Whether it be like, for working out, like I'll give you a simple thing. It's just show up to the gym 5 times a week. Maybe not even 5. You can show up 3 times a week. And train to failure. And then eat protein. Like that's 90% of it. And then there's like, of course, you gotta sleep. There's so many small things, but like, genuinely, the fitness thing is just like, go to gym 3, 4, 5 times a week, train a failure on like almost everything, and eat protein. Like that's most of it. And of course, it does become a routine at some point, but I think variation is important because once you live in that routine, your life kind of speeds up, and you don't get to live the days as you would before. Unless you're doing that routine, doing something you want, that's great, right? I think routines are wonderful for that. Again, for getting ahead. But I wanted to have the best of both worlds. I wanted to not have a routine, but also get stuff done. I think I've kind of achieved that. I set myself a task for the day, and I can do it any time of the day. I can do it in the morning. I mean, of course, I have school, so it's a little difficult. But let's say it's the weekend. I set myself a task for the day. I can do it in the morning, or I can do it in the evening if it's not in the morning. Usually I get it done by like 12 p.m., 1, right? The rest of the day I can do whatever I want. I can go sleep. I mean, I usually don't do that. I can read the rest of the day. I can go hit my workout. Like, even now, I'm not sitting here like, man, I have to work out. Like, sometimes I go like 6 times a week. Sometimes I go 3. Like, this week I did 6. Last week I did only 2. And I think because right now I'm not in like a season of like, I want to like completely go into fitness, or I want to completely get super jacked. Right now I'm in the season of like work. I want to get my college apps done. I want to make them the best I can. Again, leave everything on the table, right? I'll look back and be like, I couldn't have improved this anymore. And again, deadline's approaching. I got 11, 12 days. And yeah, I think I'm getting close to that. Like, there's some of these essays I got to write. I'm like, I literally cannot improve upon this anymore. I don't know what I can do. I plug it into ChatGPT. I tell ChatGPT, rate this. And it's like 10 out of 10. Like, there's literally nothing left to improve. Again, right there, what I did was bragging, which is ego inflation. So, yeah, I mean, just leaving everything on the table there. And going back to the routine, just like, get something done, do whatever I want the rest of the day. I can go with my friends. I can call my friends same day. I mean, of course, they probably won't do it same day, but I could be like next day, like, yo, you want to like pull up here? And then sometimes they'll say yes, sometimes no. Sometimes I just go for like a 2-hour bike ride. And these events are amazing, you know? It's nice to have that. I think definitely creates character. Gets you out of your comfort zone. It's difficult to do that. It's easier to stick to a routine, I would say, than it is to not. And you might be like, no, it's harder to stick to a routine. It's harder to stick to a routine that you craft. Because think about it. You are always following a routine. Even if you haven't set one in place, your environment has set one in place for you, right? You get out of bed the same way. You go to the same bathroom. That's a routine, right? Every single day you do the same thing. You get out of bed and you go to the bathroom. That's a routine. You are good at following routines. It's just not the routine that you desire. That one is hard to follow. But everybody does generally follow a routine. I still do. I'm not saying like I don't brush my teeth. I still get up. I still take my supplements. I still brush my teeth, right? Wash my face every morning. I mean like the big stuff that you do with most of your day. But yeah, when people say it's hard to make a routine, you just got to make it easy to follow, by the way. So that's one concept. But yeah, quite a few things I believe I learned this year. Again, most of it was internal. I could tell you some of the external stuff I learned. I learned to dress better, and I can make a whole video on that. I think I didn't really learn that myself. I learned it from someone who's like, she's amazing at dressing. She's just the girl I'm with. She's amazing at dressing. She's super smart with that stuff. And I kind of learned from her. She's like, okay, these colors are good. This one is better. Try this with that. These type of pants. Yeah, she's great. I think that was also a venture that I had to think about. I'll mention that in here too, I guess. I was worried at the start a year ago. I'm like, do I want to do a relationship? Do I want to get into it? I thought at the time it was a waste of time. And I still think it is a waste of time, depending on the type of relationship you take on. So if you're sitting here with more of like a, I just want to spend time with her. I don't think that's great. It's like, oh, I just want to spend time with her, like, what are your intentions when you think of relationship? My intentions is I want to grow, and I told her this explicitly. Again, she's amazing, like, she understands this. I told her, like I'm here, this is a give and take thing, I get some of your skills, which I value, and I value her dress style, I value her communication. She's really good emotionally. Like, her emotional IQ is just amazing, off the charts. I value your energy, right? That stuff's great to me. I'm like, I'll give you what I have, right? She wants to get more into fitness. I'm like, okay, I'll do that. I know her screen time's way up there. I'm like, okay, I can help you with that. Maybe she needs help with school, whatever, right? It's like, it's an exchange with each other. It's not like one for one. I'm not sitting there counting like, oh, you helped me this much, but I didn't help you this much. Maybe we should, like, it's like, whatever. Just help as much as we can. I think that's what a real, again, I can't give much advice on this. I'm young. I'm literally only 17, 16, 17 tomorrow. And, again, can't give much advice on this. But I would say it's just longer term thinking. Most people are just in it for, like, short term fun. I didn't want that. I wanted something where I can sit there and trust this person who's sitting across from me. I think that takes a longer time. And I don't have much time with her, of course, but I wanted to get used to that. I want to know what that was. That's why I signed up. I wanted a solid foundation with someone I can grow with. I think that's valuable, to have someone like that. And you just learn to, like, how to take care of other people, how to act in front of them, all this stuff. It's amazing, right? So, yeah, that was the reason I decided to do that. We've been, again, I think it's only been like 2.5 months, whatever, right? It's been better every day since, so that's what I'm grateful for. We'll see how it happens, how it goes in the future. I think one thing that's interesting about me, I don't get hurt when I lose someone, because I know that was a season, that was something that happened in the past, and it's like there's no point of sitting back on it. And I learned this concept of, like, how to deal with sadness and anxiety, because I know a lot of people deal with that, depression, anxiety. It's like, anxiety is when you have too many options and you can't make a decision. Sadness is when you have 0 options and you don't know what to do. So all you need to do when you're anxious is make a decision. All you need to do is when you're sad is find an option and then make a decision. That's just the framework for dealing with it, by the way, if you're interested. Like, think about it. Most sad people are just like, I have no choice. I don't know what to do. Most anxious people are like, I have too many choices, too much stuff. Right? It's like the life of excess and the life of frugality. Kind of like a binary there. But yeah, that's most of what I learned this year, and those are very profound, I think, concepts. I've also just become more of who I want to be. Like, I'm sitting here right now as I would normally talk to one of my guys. We're just conversating. We're just chilling. Like, it's not like a stupid, like, whatever I was doing then, posturing. Like, I'd sit up there, like, straight posture. I'd be like full I'd be like this, full back. I was wearing this exact thing, by the way, which is really cool. I'd be like this, like I'll deepen my voice on purpose too, by the way. I can't even do it. It was just stupid, I'm trying to get more away from that. And I know a year from now, I'll look back at myself now, I'll be like, what was I doing? Why was I posturing like that? Why was I acting like that? And that's great. That means I'm growing. Like, welcome back. Nice to meet you. I think that's the beauty of being able to make these videos and look back. Being able to see, like, okay, here's where I was. Here's where I am now. It's amazing. I love that. So, I'll tell you what's happening in the future now, I guess. What my plan is for the next year. And I'll tell you what's going to happen, because it's probably already come out. Tomorrow, I made a video 1 year ago. I'm like, this video is going to release in 1 year. And in it, I said, I'm going to hit 100K subscribers. We are not at 100K subscribers. Not good. So, it's just going to release. It's going to be there. And it's going to be a little embarrassing, but it's okay. It's all right. We'll deal with it. It's going to be a little hard to watch that. But I'll tell you plans for the future. So, I'm graduating in 2 months from high school. I signed up for early graduation. Basically, I leave in December, January-ish. PJ also signed up for it. And our plan is to fully go full-time into YouTube. Like, just grind out all day, every day, and just try to get some results from it. Because I think it is genuinely possible. We have almost 2 years of experience now. Well, on and off, of course. I would say if we had to total it up, sum it up, maybe it's like a year and a half. Maybe a year, right? Whatever. It's still a good amount. But if we can dedicate ourselves for 6 months to this thing, I think we can genuinely grow. Like, Iraq got 1 million in a year. That to me is wild. I think it's possible to do 1 million. To me is still a lot. Like, what about 100K in 6 months? Or 500K in 6 months, you know? I don't want to sit here and try to set that goal, because I think if I fail, it would not be great. I think instead I'd rather set systems that make it so that I make a better video every single time. But I do hope to do really well. 100K would be great. That'd be a great subscriber goal to hit. Like, that would be amazing. There's also that's just what I'm gonna be doing most of the time. There's also gonna be a lot of character development. I've stopped journaling a lot. I still have them here, but I haven't journaled a lot in the last, like, let me see the last entry. Right here, September 16. Like, it was over a month ago, right? I think it's because I don't really have many problems that like arise. Maybe there are a few small ones here and there, but I usually think them through and solve them. I think journaling is something where it's like, you need to catch up to your current day self and solve all the problems from the past. And then once you have done that, then it becomes optional. Before, I used to do it every single day. Like, every night I would have, like, October 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Now it's like, okay, if I got a big problem I got to solve, I'll write something down, like 4 or 5 pages, and just think the problem through, solve it. Sometimes I just solve it in my mind. It's a level of self-awareness, I think, that takes time to develop, and it only gets developed through that journaling process. So basically how I've started thinking now is, like, in 5 to 10 year timelines. I think in 10 years, if I work on one business, which I'm not going to say it's going to be YouTube. I'm going to be working on YouTube for a long time. Could it be for 5, 10 years? It could be a part of it. It could be a process. I'm not going to sit here and dictate my future self, but I want to work on it until I hit a goal, and that goal is 100K, and I want to be able to make money from it. That is most of the goal. If I can hit 10K a month within the next year, again, this is what I said last year. Let's see if I can do it this time. If I can hit 10K a month in 1 year, I will be super happy. Insanely happy. That'll be great. That'd be amazing. I know most of that's going to be reinvested, or probably even all of it. But that'd be a great thing to look back on. Be like, yeah, I did that. You know, that's cool. 100K subs. Yeah, that's exciting, you know, being able to make that much. That's 120K a year. So yeah, that's pretty much all I want to talk about. It's weird. I didn't come into this with a script. You know, usually I have, like, my screen pulled up. I have it right here, but that's for lighting, actually. It's weird, you know, if I turn off this, like, the lighting gets bad for some reason, but whatever. I usually have a script. I went into the scriptless because I didn't want a script, you know. I just wanted to, like, sit here and talk, spew out whatever comes out. I don't really know what I'm gonna be like. I do want to guess what I'd be like in a year. I think my beard will definitely fill in, because this is making me mad. It's not filling in. Also, my skin, I don't know if you can see it, it's not amazing. There's a bunch of scars. I think that stuff is unfixable, but I do think it can get better by then. What else? I don't know, a lot can change in a year. I'll probably be bigger, more muscular. I think right now I'm doing pretty good. You know, I can show you guys. I'm doing pretty well. I look small on here. It's not a good camera angle, whatever. But I'm doing pretty good. Again, I'm not in that season of, like, super hard working out, but it is what it is, I guess. And yeah, we'll see where I end up in a year, honestly. Like, I think that's the beauty of life. You don't know where you'll end up in a year. I didn't know where I'd be a year before. I don't know where I'm going to be now. General direction, I will be better than where I am right now. I'm going to look back at this. I'm going to be like, this guy's going to be proud of me. I think I'll be proud of my future self because I know I'll achieve big things. I just know it because I know the amount of effort I'm willing to put in and the amount of effort I will put in. So I'm setting an expectation for you, bro. Setting an expectation right here if you're watching. It was nice making this. This one's probably a little longer than the last one. A little bit. But it's great. Nice talking to you. I didn't know how to end this. But, yeah. All right. Bye.